give us a bit of an overview of how the whole year 2025, in retrospect, how has it gone for Kwaku Annan?
Great. Ness, Michelle, and I greet all listeners, new viewers, and so at this very period we finally say how many days to go to end the year 2025. It's been a very tiring, particularly ending the year, the months of October, November, and December still in. Emu ayedin, Papa say, emu bayedin. Partly, I'll hold it on the Nigerian crisis, right? Yes, where we were just about doing what we call the DNA test of the Ghanaian or German, na or yes, as I said, yetumi carry investigations, na Chukwudi so Nigerian news, yes, we have to. Nina musu na along line or anasa along, boats na a build up and so a story and coping at my 2026 be focus so which is the expose on the body of Christ. I say and may be crashes so but enya accidentally a there ye meaning says Annan but the quarterly by biano so we take full responsibility say Sana media drama etie ebasa no as our pressure you just have to contain it, manage to connect yourself around or to it and then feed your listeners and viewers so that they will make me I am more comfortable. See, the ending of the year it has not been soft at all, but and we take full responsibility for it.
Okay, now Obaka said, what has been your greatest time, your toughest time this year? What has been your greatest challenge in 2025? Which obviously Obianga said there's nobody who hasn't got a challenge in anything we do. What has been your challenge as Kwaku Annan?
Okay, I'll take the regrets out of it straight up. Chazelle, I cannot say, Kwaku, I've regretted of doing something 2025, the beginning, let's say first, second, third quarter of 2025. I've regretted in any stories that we pursue, be that of investigative stories we pursue and all of that. No, none that I can say we regret. However, one that I can say, yes, gave us challenge, and it's still a challenge now, and not for me alone, but for all Ghanaians. The rising tide between Ghana and Nigeria. At a point, then the narrative, now better to say, okay, let's see if we can kick the entire Nigerian community in Ghana out. So, say yempam Nigerians no more Ghana, yempam omina in freeha. And no was like a tall order for all of us to say, yentimi and keke Nigerians in free or memo had straight is intimi ye. And then at a point, the narrative has to switch this time to say, as I say, focus on all self-style, self-imposed Ibonina on no better Ghana has said on the wabeji intin wahano wesisi na hemfo enam na sefo no emom ye betimi a yen such that aban no benya ne ho nti ase se saa Iboni no ntumi emesi ne hene no ono asusu nsi ono aso no ho hene na hemfo ni na wo manim sa. No, we have to ensure say ye betu ono na se na hemfo a wabobom around the regions na yahwe say eno be betimi possible, and also became a tall order nature saying at a point in ye we no as I say government am I a green light to say I dear makano ye de be adwuma nti ebe boa ma bibia no aiden ewie ewo kwan paso ni nkunimdie kwan so. But unfortunately Ghana ni bi enim government ni ntimi amaye sa Venice that green light in me adwuma na sent ye no yetimi de ko wie enum ene yesan ba ene yes okay sadia yanka se be what you call citizens arrest nso ne be pie say government you know ya ebe de ye be hwe ne ya 1212 we e de amamo se sadia munya abotre no problem. There is a lot of security concerns bebre. So security concerns ni na yeji to mu say security concerns. However, government come in, tell us what to do, or otherwise what you're about to do, or say I'll take up the investigations myself, or to that of deportation of this man. Nafi yede amagana fu hu di wom. Besise and there's 27th of December. Sa anamuntu no government anya den ama so. But imri me no viewers ebe che ade bi. Ade dem eno be che ne say ebra ensem ni na ba sa no. We decided as a government no ye wakase bia na ye kan say Mohammed anko mountain so ho a mountain ankasa beba Mohammed. So what we did was we have to write a serious letter. The frontline show CTV. Ya Chokrata Kesiepa de Akoma, the Minister of Interior. Eye Ora Muktaka. Yes. Once I say we be ante ewo frontline so say ya say no. I'm breaking it here. We've written a letter as Akrata no ye de Akoma, the Minister of Interior. Muktaka Mubarakos, whatever his name, Muhammad, yes. Say, only Sakrata we. Ye stating yoma bibre wum. Bibre na ye state wum, the gun and you bit me hazard. Yes. That letter basically is about why government intimian first investigation amber. 2. Government intimian metre say, we I'll be catcher earlier no. Say and what's he taking another preposition? Other just it's a whole lot. But mean kind letter in Chiramusabri Nemum. I can let your viewers understand. Say we took that step before Ansana ye beba breaky, but ne and Pese be announce will be so ye two sanam. But of course I can break the news to you, say they are and see between now I mean funny say 2025 enya and day Monday a working day Tuesday. Besi say ye be ura 2026 mono. Sa letter no response there. Na ye dem say na aba. Nti de won bia ne aban etrimu po ene ne susuye bia no. Wo mo de beto krata so de abre ne abekan a kire Ghana fo. Yes.
Yeah, Kwaku, thank you very much. We've got a lot of things to discuss tonight because obviously we are ending the year and everybody would want to we want to hear a lot of things. Kwaku, me and you, I don't know on your part, me and you, we were not there when the government placed a call and said that you want to take up this challenge, you want to take up this responsibility. So put your tools down and then go away. We are going to take up and give you response after 2 weeks. You were not in the meeting, obviously. I was not in the meeting. None of us was in the meeting, but we were told. Do we 100% believe that was the position of the government? Because there is no media effect to that to prove and challenge that the government gave us 2 weeks. These were hearings, free, Mr. Alhaji
Hassan
Ayariga. So we want to ask you. You have been on the front line. You have had major conversations. Was this said on camera, or we were just informed? And do we believe that it was the position of the government at the time? And can we challenge it with any proof to say that they owe us response?
Great. First of all, I see it as I say, as a nation, said it. I will answer this in 2 positions. 1. Government need to take responsibility of everything and takes responsibility of every citizen and whatever happens, including non-citizens in this nation. And to be a baby biano, say nipa no ho account, say dinyo, Aban taking responsibility of ensuring that the right thing are done.
Mm.
And in the very situation of some Nigerians in semi, na enche entimi nkoba say President Mahama ebema the national security for actual krata e dia brand say say no wate otene say see amfa petition bi ankoma president
No.
yet ye wo na yet say president at the report about and that was the early stages. So president report or the by and say national security for amana swan to say yen Nigerians issues a storm in a teacup, quote and unquote. That time not upia petition the uncle president, but this is what the president brought out. Why? The intent of the president did that because there was a maximum pressure on the government of John Mahama say on massa Nigerians in Fikrum Hanko. And who say okay, so the Mamifan to me national security chiefs name no the koto menim and eba say answer the man in here. No problem. Now inti ube who say enye bibia na say aban no obi be yi na sutri say we ba inti ye say anasa because our intelligence agencies almost so that for more bibia no minim how I saw me then or more coordinating your man inti they pick all this information and then they act upon it, most especially when the issue poses existential threat. And I also say it poses national security threat to the state. Government would have to act. Inti sana assembly. Who's the first one? President by or bear and sign. Nanya petition be nanya krata be on one or buy no bear then or bear and sign Ghana for any who so. Or say no a storm in a teacup. Basically, if you assembly in here, bija. Second one na me yano your question we beside no. Say Hassan Alhaji, Dr. Alhaji Hassan Ayariga. Efreme. That was I think a day before, which will be date ben puni addition refi date but then in an ultimate say could be see Friday and then Saturday. And Hassan Freme Kachem said, we need a call from the government. And Nipa Odini EPN a Minister of Interior. And that the Minister of Interior has called for say yen suspending we no movement. You know. The reason government is saying this nature says yen suspending near corner BBC or what government would be held responsible in the international community. Any munkeka eti pamukra no you hold on, and that both sending Chukwudi out, including that of say investigations leading to the deportation and crimes committed here in Ghana, Nina no, or better will be taking the issue up, including say wiki train we cry no so many Hassan, and so I then akasa or no so ama matise sisi no Kwaku. I am still waiting for government response. And so okay, well, we've detailed a letter to them. Also, that's good. Let's see if they will bring the response or otherwise they say Omedinti. I know the mechanic say parameters in a woman and I say premise in a mass set and it say Fanese Abampun cancer and your right says here Trocrat at the commanding Minister of Interior because on as way a directly under the control. But of course, I'm quite certain, and I know, sir, Interior Minister Ene Hassan is with I'm very certain about that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for the response. Now, when you look at the fight, which we have held on, and we've held this fought for a little over 4, 5, 6 months now, would you say, in your own perspective, that out of 100, we've been able to achieve the things that we tabled on paper? Have we been able to achieve anything substantial? Have the fight yielded any positive results? Have we shaped the country as we wanted? Have people realized and have the information gone to the length and breadth of the country? Would you say, out of percentage-wise, how, in terms of percentage numbers, have we been able to achieve in this fight?
Great. Let me do this with you. See, some of your viewers may disagree with me or otherwise, because they are looking for one thing. And that thing would have marked your percentage 100%. And that 100% would have been that of, they will see this Igbo man gone. And that would have been the 100%. So, as long as the man has not gone, there is no way the Ghanaian out there would mark the job done 100%. However, may I state and state clear, what we have done, yourself, others, any Ghana, is the greatest work ever done in the history of this nation. Call it a group of what? Civil society groups are now said nationalists. I may rather say, we are nationalists, and as nationalists, we've drummed home to let our government, our institutions, corporate organizations, to understand that this movement of this group of people and this influx of this culture is not the Ghanaian, it's not synonymous with our way of life, and that we no longer want it in this country. The message for the message gone there, or the message being drummed to the ears of the president and the hierarchy of this nation, is one I can tell you, Ness, is the greatest work done so far. The very fact is say, ye papa ni free ha enkoye kra no. And an American say, ho, and a gun and a be who say, and an inch man, you know. But say, no, my yard, and don't just see a engagement, because as I speak to you, gun and krimu, or my way, fundamentally, I very quiet pa. Because I am quieter. So compare, maybe some months ago, any the way and Nigerians need to trust some net is see, I no see a ding. Ewo Ghana hana enye bria me no kase no. Baby, it's gone down and gone down dramatically, very very down, to the extent say ebria me no kase krai enioma ono sa Nigeria ni kaneno tumi soro no wo afa no ho no ne nam ha no mo yewe no mo ye show man die ben program no na mase this time relatively ni nara akofo. Menkai the last time I tell you so a function be wahana say menkai. Not that I stand to be corrected though, but menkai, even though our ears are on the ground, menkai da me tell you a function be masa function no assembly kure kopio ho magana fo ani abre no de bentia ni na kire se enipa bi nso den kasa kire ne se se nioma we na be kofo magana fo no ayidia echese kanwanu tumo bebi a wotie na di nhuni ne di Ghana mraso because enye out of place Ghana for because ye too so sane asel no, but it's because of the manner in which who disrespected Ghana for ne, that's your vituperations and trying to chest out say because you have links with the top Ghanaian officers in T who feel say obey me be open. No. Power is vested in the hands of the people. So if you're not careful, the people will get more angry with the government, and that's an indication that that government will go and come no more. And at that time, where will be your stand? It's just a matter of saying 3 years to come or less than that.
Yeah.
And in any government Fufobiaba will just pick you and throw you out of this country.
Yeah.
So you are as better as keeping quiet in your closet and see to say you do what will not, incur the wrath or the displeasure of the people, so that at least the noise and all of that will go down. I think that advice Nina is being given. Into Moamosha, Papa ni ye started all kananwa two more. Even at the time when expose na allegedly say oni obi akwo Ghana ni akwala kran odel sa letter ne ba echi no wa mekasa biom ye nte ne nka biom tel say sisi ye ka say ya sign e the letter foforo akwa akoma no letter ne ye de akoma no is to invite him to come for the DNA test na no ye the platform front line no Maami owo Germany e Ghana ni bae. Odi esi ho say yen den. Yen hwe say yebema Chukwudi aba forward to accept that DNA responsibility. Nti say the letter command they are command ye try so be respond or respond we are then we set the parameters. Kwan ben so and obey wo available na maame no so ono so wontimi makra na ne hu enime bi ne ba ne nyoma bi no obetimi de aba down na afi no ye beko sa laboratory ho na yakọ set nyoma nti ene be broma ya sheda na yen my to say yem person ye bedi ehun komo but of course I had meeting we this ankomo na Ghana for no be broma God yeah
deep down
yeah
I'm going to into details and thank you very much for that massive explanation. Let's what Chukwudi say let's delve into the chieftains. We all know Mahama flew all the way to Nigeria to go and crown himself as a chief in Ilefi or those places. Now there was a video that we intercepted, and the video was Chukwudi and the chief who was in Nigeria, and also installing Mahama as a chief. No, they were together in Chukwudi's palace, and people were making certain allegations, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. So it looks like Chukwudi, that chief, and Mahama are forming some sort of a triangular relationship where it looks as if, say, there is some sort of conflict of interest because Mahama, who is saying that I have got my stepmother and other things in Nigeria, and him not listening to Ghanaians. Ghanaians have been talking here and there, him not actually coming onto the board to speak to Ghanaians. You know, we feel, say, Chukwudi is linking Mahama to the top guns of Nigeria, and so that when they need favors in Ghana, it will become very easy. These assertions on the internet, do you think same with the Ghanaian people, or what do you think when these kind of explanations are given to you?
First of all, Ness, I'm a student of believing in having worked on my own facts or having pressed buttons that I know say I've managed to ascertain this and ascertain that, and I can speak boldly on those facts. I hate to work with they say, you say, or must say, or say. The rumor mill, baby, I meant in your grow. The speculation galore no so me find you there will be said there, minyam peke and one bakwasam in details. However, I know say John Dramani Mahama echo ho kwaye 1 or 2 bininium and maybe near the other. I know the Ghanaians didn't take, kind to it at all. Yeah, and I know the president and so I pick it a win say sadno so no anya Ghana for so ede at all. Well, President Mahama himself, the government, and then with the Nigerians. Say offer say enono bebuano Emma Ebia with me keeping more ties with the Nigerians, perhaps talk about in terms of even blood okranwa. Ebia making Ninu Numbia na say ne busuafoni bi or blood relation with the Nigerians. That suspicion perhaps may be very ripe. Nti ebasa acquired this I no hope you say edua batabons ni twa na etwa nanti to obeya ne de wo yi izan say me kwegu mitie me wo bloodlines be to Ivory Coast so no nti Ivorians in Sembisa Abanament me anka ne bebreba the reasons may be very obvious say me we busuafo ho nti ya na me metimi atwetwe me ase depending on the situation. So sometimes I can understand where John Dramani Mahama may be coming from, but at the same time I see say John Mahama and so escape routes be brave. Escape routes actually say ubetimi amma wo sword no so na wa ensure say enime bi wo mu a o crack the whip na ma aye dwuma pepepe but not necessarily say we be with floodgates, at all. Na any Dick and Tom and Harry be a room abeye di ope a brass microphone. You don't need a rocket science or rocket scientist to tell you who they are. Woman numa woman bibia dead say woman ye nipa ye no motina ewo bia kwan bi so a ede asomdwe ba. Womach ene nye Ghana nkwan so ne yewo adansi yewo adansi kruwa no amayama bibre wonum kɔ hɔ no anye yi ama wono nti Achansude be Brouhaha John Mahama said, be extremely careful. Regardless of whether our cousins be who and now union be a Nigerian so and as saying the bigger picture near Ghana for now, where then or rulia woman a day power man, be careful no one so be the right thing. See, honey the mean can be pray, but I believe that time will just tell in the shortest possible time. Now we know that John Mahama, of course, is not coming back. That speculation must be put to rest. Say, the Constitutional Review Committee in the year say on Sunday contested, or maybe you there and another say 2 years after John Mahama a matter of John Mahama going home, and whoever comes would understand Ghanaians this time better than maybe John Mahama to ensure say Ghana and Ukraine say ECOWAS need be free more and any free moon term say where the ECOWAS across the regional bloc. The ECOWAS were regional bloc here and they cool see and money are there and ya the papa. Now the papa and Chesabri yet to Homa US Marines accostome events in the Nigerian state of Sokoto state in here and himfa. Umu chase ISIS near other groups on other ECOWAS uncle man. Other than ECOWAS, Uncle Sageman. Now we have a Guinea and Michigan, a Benin to Kuwait. I see almost the coup has been foiled. When we almost see deploy ECOWAS team, so I'm could take you over, Nediana, once an air straight. But more a major confrontational issue to say the Boko Harams, the bandits, the ISIS, and all sorts of splintered. Paramilitary groups go where say there na ECOWAS to ho say train NSN Trump ama womoku sane missiles bi go a sa cruise no go be briatita to towrem kwayem sirim ni mipom up baby di omutiafa ebinim so beg say sisia they are ready to reconcile. It was say ECOWAS na kasa no one of the useless organization bia the African leaders need to chikeke no me din kwasi asem the sources also friends on the sources also loans ne wo mko shewa Abuja wa no mo di man ne ade kwa tratra o di jo me ni kwasi asem kwa no mo di o kwasi asem kwa bibi papa bie ni ECOWAS no mo de to me ma di medi sa no mo ko mo kwa o se bibi papa bi o ma Ghana ni nka nche me ever since o tese Ghana mpeni for ECOWAS wo Nigeria e die no mo ko mo de ba woman ko ema me ka asem bibia so nkyere Ghana for next straight up say Ghana no free ECOWAS and also another battle will get there and they will cross it. Then so but ni na Ghana ni bia so nte ade bia se wa say ye kan say ya na enye se ye kan ya ade chi ana sa ade na aba Ghana for so be understanding no next na sometimes really troubling. You see the Ghanaian wants something quickly to be done. But not finish here and say, or can ya na onususun ya or dream wa de bana adecha na ni pebia Kwaku pia sadno. You don't think like that.
Then it's a process.
Yeah, the process na process sorry ana oye ebinisa a demonstration of Mohalti and I say a kind of simple citizens arrest from Mohalti. Wo mutimi abeka bibia kire Ghana for nampo e wo Ghana na kanteme ECOWAS. It's a process no nye process wo the pressure kugu ni pe bi so say e no man yese Ghana ni to obo ase nemum you must be really involved deeply than to sitting on the fence and talking.
Thank you. Mami, how did you find the woman who claimed, say, Awaba, Awani Chukwudi? That was the first question. Second question, what was entailed in the letter that you wrote to Chukwudi? Was that letter a letter to shut him up, or was that a letter of expose? We want to know what has gone into it. How have you been able to shut Chukwudi up with that letter? A primary answer na Chukwudi nso atnas also meant my response. What was in the letter? Close ben who ya anunti. Ama Chukwudi onwa beka tell say, if I see any journalist making this an issue, I am going to sue that journalist. What is the secret, Gokwana?
Hey, Nestana. When you hold me that BBC for standing one answer. Oh, what do you say? Next. Yes, I have double questions. Kufioku questions. We need the other. Good. Mommy, you question I know pie brilliantly, man. One. You knew about Abba Gifty or Germany. Yes. You ask a question as to who, perhaps I don't know if you are trying to describe, say, is she in good standing? The answer may be yes, she is in good standing. And two, whatever she brought to the front line to work on cannot be described as she's making it. No, it's real. And we have to take the matter up. We took it up. We'll be out here at a point. Before we take the matter up, we wrote a letter to Chukwudi asking Chukwudi Jude to finish us with some further and better particulars. If she can recall, by any means, once that she dropped here in Ghana in 1976, if she can recall, yes, in one of his amorous relationship, it resulted in a child or some sort, into Onkakai, all the way connecting to Central region where the relationship apparently started from all the way to Accra, and then all of that. It will be in some dear. When ye me to like I said, when ye be but the only thing to me count on the letter more ye kaima Ghana 40 and so only the onkai relationship ya no new be as we niba. Name or the if clause we be sure. If clause in the say or say if challenge, I will resort or make myself available for DNA test. No problem.
Oh,
Okay.
sir.
And he not sure. I want to let him. Yeah. I want to let him. Or see if challenge. Me put in quote. Or see if challenge. I would avail myself for the DNA test.
Wow.
Internet just said, "Am I a Jumano crano? I a bit easier." Into a basano. Tio say on one hand, there are certain inimi be a CCCU. A CC during that relationship to confirm and deny wama. No. Name or ye fast it take a preposition be said. Medium no be any bibiasa. Name if I'm challenger, why ready so be DNA test. Goodness ad no ye pa. Never say until take it that position. Yeah. On one hand, on ye ready say, obey you was some 1, 2, 3 say relationship be say corso. On the other hand, or say me no be any bawo, say, ewo ha, say. But if challenge, I will be ready for the DNA test. God, internet just said, the bit me I say, as I say, and no, eba and from me and mammy be din como. Yana mammy should be din como Ghana for 18 and will be who will be echo. And as I speak to you, Mami Edasujina and I so say Kwaku 1,000,000% I'm ready for the DNA test. Good. Intina de beya say ye be jina onu Chukwudi Jude na semo anu or de buy no so say if challenge dia any de krata abrel say je krata na usu tu edom na womuni emra metra say ni ehu sisi ano why ready and as obe respond officially to a letter no say ampa why ready for the DNA test no.
Yeah.
Laboratory say yeah sa test wo munya na Ghana bibre kwa. Nti eno ana se ebema ye ne Chukwudi Jude hu krofo ye be ko hospital na na say laboratory lab for na kyerɛ nneɛma wo mu behia ene ade na kyerɛ ya tonkra ama maame no eno de be lab no ene maame no be request si hia we mo femra no mo de ba na fi lab no aye o my sa test we enye test e be di 1 week asem it's just a matter of days no mo wia Ghana sa explosive asem we emu ne kure bia beda ho ma Ghana ni bia ehu say the city ntini na no na so bisa me a the ending of saga we would depend largely on the cooperation of Chukwudi Jude. So Chukwudi Jude abre de krata ya komane so to me cooperate well effectively I'm sure say asem we nya ba January ano ye benya sa asem no mu enchire mu and perhaps an end of say onega ni bawo and onega ni bawo.
I know you don't live in Chukwudi's house and you don't even go to his house, but do you believe that these hula balloons going on between the woman and the DNA issues and my CTV, where you are the Oga boss, you know, do you think that it has had a negative toll on the family? No, I'm a family. No, issues. There have been trust issues. The family has been able to get in contact with you. What have you heard on ground?
Oh, Ness, I know say I'm put there and say man camp him say Ghana for no be brain so ate. And I feel so other can say news outlets, social media be brain ni pe bia be reports near there. But a hono na me pese me dwell on that. Just say hona koye more on a humanitarian issue. So edin aye nipa yi na ija ujatana so obi fie na ija ede woni fie pa ma say confusion is on ne yire ntem. Confusion be ne saying edin na ye bobo show no so no ebi o ma say edin ne yire na te the way back years. So no na year na tete say dino se o hwe mo ati say Chukwudi say about 30 years plus and we do Ghana 30 plus years. So o hwe be maame no so oni ni nya relationship na the very can say mid 90s. So no, mid 90s 1997. Am I right? Yeah, 1997. So until 1996, sorry, 96 until 96 and on the Miami party company in Miami court, Germany. It's been how many years? And it was time on Kuku Shia, Nigeria, on no, then on any TCCA. And Kobe Briuma, Akokoswa, Chukwudi no susun and say, Sa Mami Ghana ni Bayasami, BP, and then your chinema about a reference. Reference na no, ebe kai, and no na be kai. Chukwudi current wife we to know certain in Simbia or born amende a bribia besin kose see. It's as say my meaning him said Chukwudi ni by a friend Linda Grace. And he said Mami or Germany air bought Linda Grace to be that of Linda Grace idia. What the buy say on fan concoto aqualana on na one. Now person what you're saying. Said in your sister near. So a sister edin ono Chukwudi ne sister nidin no and it gives Chukwudi current wife we a straight answer say no, the woman may not, cannot and will not be telling a lie. She's speaking the truth. Because ono ma so and other references ni may be brave akoswa ama the current wife sa ansemi na ebedi ni mu na utumi se ono no wakwa Ghana ni se onya na ebia na nche obro ne beka so mbetu abofo anase emizris emoma betena asem no so na wo makan firi na so nurse obeti ase se papa nimguasia aba no so no kwasem ni anu odin pa anu odin to the extent say afi obesi tu anamon say or back forward na waman penifo aba beje akora no na fahini na sine there be o say sa na wiase ne ti o che say anamobi na wutu akwa ya na wahwe kakra kra say daachi bi no efidi bi nkoyi wo kwan mu ma ankoye o hanti si ano Chukwudi no nam wo no se Ghana fo no epese omuhu the state of the papa ne name sisi ana enya asompe. There's a massive confusion e wo nebusuem ho ena misu Kwaku min kwaya se o sepsem previous confusion aba ni fia na misu betena TV so na cha ni nse nbidi jani gumu ana mduguma enye na sa ntina ya say ye man break because sa expose no kwa na ye no the stana e de how kese papa na brabo kese pa enti hone di ja emma ono ene ne fiefo ene Nigerians impedinfo mo so Nigerians impedinfo no bebre so atisa ansem ya womina na mo hwe kwan a wo mefa so me resolve sa issue but ho de enye me Kwaku masemo na mum de na platform no feel say betime ya na say ye be ma wo mo a bit of break no betim they resolve wo mo household matters, particularly to do with say or bafforward abeji akra no so ma forward and ye ntechiri ye ntro krata amfema zabri ye de krata komani and obenwu so sana asem ni enye musa. We are still on the case but on any family ni munsem de ye be mu bi enye.
Okay, Kwaku, I agree partially because obviously I agree partially because this is a case of Ghana against Chukwudi. And yeah, this is a case of Ghana against Chukwudi. And when we look at the pains, the agony people have gone through over 4 or 5 months, people have come on even though you don't pick people on your show, but on my show, people have come here and they've cried like babies because Chukwudi is flaunting himself and making people feel like Ghana is not safe. And so if some of these things are having a negative effect on the family, we do care about the lady who is a Ghanaian, but we do not care about Chukwudi. Whatever he goes through is none of any Ghanaian's business. No Ghanaian thinks about Chukwudi 1 minute. Whatever we all want is that at the end of the day, we will see him Kutuka, having his Nigeria must go back, and he flies away from them. With or without the family, with or without the kids, we don't care. But the last question on Chukwudi I'm going to ask you, why did the woman wait all this while and not come out to say these things from beginning, but waited till the final moments when the issues were dying off before coming to talk about this issue?
I will not pretend to be the spokesperson for the woman. And my name woman so to my for on the basis of what is happening now. I don't know. But I say my men so akwaye no huni pebi o wakwaye Ghana ni Ghana for inimu nsamke. Inimu nsamke. So I'm trying to hazard a guess though.
Yeah.
Onu huni says so anye careful na otua na mobi so fa ni kunu ni chia na ni kunu so en support so na motu no a asem kese pa because we yatete even snippet of Sanya man say the woman had wanted to make a move but some move no be no okunu and endorse so if your husband does not endorse some move na and as anamon who go to ade e betim your how kese aba until I kind of feel say my men so has been pressed down. So on a press down, shake together, run over. You know? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, she's been put together, pressed together, run over. And own team enya DB as far as the man's will does not support the move. Because Ghanaians, our eyes are on Chukwudi Jude. Nti anamobia ma many bitubiano will trigger yet another explosive, social events uproar. Nti ende pam no twa no kwanchene sodo. Obe accepted the very situation she finds herself said she's been put together, pressed together, run over. Over 10 corner her for now. Yeah.
It looks like there's a lot of things going on Chukwudi's corner. Wouldn't him run go?
Papa. Very. I've heard of him, pa. Ne Okromansa Okmasias, I've heard the name. Yeah.
Now,
Sure.
He came on social media and he lambasted Kwaku, he lambasted doctors, he lambasted all these people and said a lot of things about us that whatever we are doing, the Igbo kingdom is coming on live in Khaled. Now, Ronnie says that Oya podcast, because an era has ended. He has no business with the Igbo people. But what is unusual?
I heard it and I decided not to. I decided I will not believe that news.
Oh.
Yes, and I still don't want to believe this news. Yeah.
Kwaku, we are saying it on authority. He has left. The same way you are training us, we are also trying to move in your steps. Now, the spokesperson who sat on podcasts and threw tantrums at Kwaku, Dr. Ayariga, Nationalist, and the other people says that an era has ended. But because you have a lot of ears around the corners, we wanted to dig in to see if you know the reason, because he didn't state the reason why he has left Chukwudi's corner. I don't know if they want to use him for pepper soup.
Pepper soup. I say, Ness. Debedia Nediano. Debedia Nediano. I can understand Ronnie Gogo, whatever his name is. Ne plight, ne worry, and ne anger. He's very angry, pa. Yeah, he's very, very angry. I know the circles of that guy so much well. I know the circles of him. Just say, within the Ghana state, there are lots of buttons, Bibria. Oma press here. Sani omo press were not in tandem with that of the Ghana state, authority. Sure. You see, Ronnie Gongo and then Gongo, whatever his name. Nyomo omodo omansako press ama omeropi the Ghana state in giving what you call a certain backing to the Chukwudi man. It's something that is like a bit of the Ghana state authority has been chopped off, but it's been chopped off also not through the very legal process. No. So the Ghana people are now being forced, right from their throats, that they need to speak out. One of it was said, they were left with no choice in between months, September, to issue a letter and warn Chukwudi said he cannot celebrate the Yam Festival. Why do you think the Ghana state for a year, sir? But then there were all indications pointing to the fact that Papaya and Adrian say Yampo Yam Festival or Babe celebrating. Because on whose back was Chukwudi exerting that authority? It was coming from some Ghana chiefs. At the same time, maybe breaking intelligence report be mama say, "Are they all planning so person and say, I feel person in crying him for no or ma emubi eba no more ba woman nas or more ba monfa or my suffer for in the umechi and for mumra and me celebrate adeno. Na so mo background into kwabi city na asafo for no edom ho agisa into kwan. Nina ebeye nioma. Nina the authorities of the Ghana state were not endorsing that move. But Ronnie Gongo Nini Dom and SR chiefs Ninano were in alignment to that deal. But I will tell you what, the Ghana state news and no. Step 7 previous on. See you go when you must see Gua at a point. Muma Kakrana Kano. Yeah, man, frafo Emma Meguye ni so all to the extent of say. Let us say the name Yambiana. Then the energy when you say, but to allow foreigners through foreign people. Through what they describe as cultural diversity, there were lots of videos and then Chukwudi to one city near there at Egugu in the name of CAD. Homo, oh come on. Daddy. Enti enemy be akɔso yie. Mama can say the elders of the Ghana state have spoken within corridors. Yeah. The elders of the Ghana state have spoken and spoken hard. Now the mobi nyimi no mo hwa de. Din no man no mo hwe sa papa. Enti se sa na tie dia yen ya de hye no a wo mo ne papa na akoye ye alliances na wo mo pese wo mo de essay Ghana state no. Ye no mo ni nkomo. Ene pam na otwa no obi antwe no. Enti I can understand Ronnie and the plight and the worries out there ne ehun keka, but sa nyame na me ba be suama no esanse ye mu bi ye kasa che no wenti sa time no na wo mu bi ne mu ne sa boy na ni nostrils ebiebie sa mo fence say fence barrister so ho it's a long time I mean who so be video ni ade. So all of these guys we now so no umunya no one face umunya tete botan bi no mo do mo ho akwa o said Ronnie Gongo kasam che na ontiase okotra Poladomochi show so e kwotnegin hu bia ne ne nti se Ronnie abana okeka sa ansemi a nya afi na me ye be cry am might say maintain the case ne kra but ono ane elders no a wo mo ne ne te enkrankom ha no eno mo de ma e twa no tuye no hwe ade we pin hu next time unko be Kwaku didi tio unko Kwaku didi against the integrity, against the what, the sanctity, against the credibility and the sovereignty of the Ghana state? No. Enyanasa. Nti otija sopa. Otija sopa. Otija sopa. But media, emiye ready same be swama. No.